I want to let y'all know I have to mentally prepare myself for this for two reasons. One, stories like this I normally don't do because they cringe me the hell out. And number two, some of my friends like Mason, my other friends, don't really know about these types of stories because I don't talk about them because of that exact reason. And also because, I'm reading off a script. So that's going to make this even more cringe because I mispronounce things. Anyway, hello internet, Dark Prince here, as y'all can probably tell. I want to talk about a funny, but I guess you could maybe say sad kind of time at school that happened a few years ago, back when I was no more than 10, maybe 11. I was in first grade, no more kindergartening, kids getting finessed. Nope, now it was dating your bullies. Okay, for real. I don't even know how I'm gonna mentally prepare myself for the story. You know what, just let me explain this, okay? This was the time I fell in love with my bully. Jesus Christ, bro, this is, oh my god. Okay, so it's grade 1, and there were plenty of boys I was friends with, man, and all my friends were not filled with the girls, and our classroom was basically segregating into two different groups. Yeah, it was like that type of thing, Just like my current kind of classroom, both the boys and girls were segregating into their own little groups. Well, there was this, I'm probably gonna need to give y'all a description and, personality check for this bully. It was a blonde girl who bullied me, and I'm gonna explain why she bullied me here in a minute, okay? Her name was Gemma. She bullied me, and I noticed she liked, well, what the hell? We're not even gonna read that part of the script. It was some cartoon character. If y'all know what cartoon character I'm talking about, it's some superhero. She's basically like a ladybug character. I'm sure plenty of girls that are watching this video right now know what cartoon I'm talking about. And if I show an image right now, they'll right here, Anyway, this image right here, this is what I'm talking about. And I say that, and I say she liked this type of thing because the lock screen on her iPad. Now I want to mention first, changing lock screens on your iPad, like switching lock screens or whatever, for some stupid reason was basically frowned upon for some reason in my class. I don't know. I guess it was just like immature or some stupid stuff or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, it was some sort of fan art of the Ladybug superhero character and another character from that show kissing. You know what? Girls are all for fan art from certain cartoons. Even if it is a bit sus. We'll just say that. I can't believe I fell for a bully, dude. I have no taste in women. Maybe I should go join Tinder. What do y'all think? Don't answer that. I probably shouldn't. That's illegal. Anyway. That's besides really the point, because now I'm going to explain why I wanted to mention that. I wanted to mention it because I could have told or showed everybody that embarrassing ass fan art. There's two reasons I didn't, and the first one's quite obvious. This was at the time where I fell for her. I don't know why the hell I did, but it's just her personality, I guess, and she was pretty. I'm gonna be honest, that's my opinion. She was beautiful, okay? My script, I'm changing some sentences or words in my script because they're cringe and I can't even mouth those sentences. Like the superhero part, Ladybug superhero cartoon. That's the only time I'm ever mouthing that part again. Never again. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I could have showed everybody, but I didn't because number one, that's not who I am, obviously. Spirit doesn't make me out to be this little demon or person that comes from hell just because my mascot is made to be from hell, okay? Don't take that as literal just because Spirit says it. Please don't. I might actually jump off a damn bridge if y'all start doing that. Don't cancel me like Corey Kenshinbo, please. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I can't believe I have big balls enough to just straight up explain this to y'all. Anyway, I can't believe I have big enough balls to explain this to y'all. As I was saying, I could have told or showed everybody what her lock screen was, but one, I'm not a douche. Two, that wasn't who I was, because again, I'm not a douche. I'm not gonna retaliate to public embarrassment. I am not Spirit. I'm not gonna sit here and embarrass somebody because they think it's funny. Okay, so I'm not that type of person. That's not me. And number two, I kind of liked her, so that was even more of why. Of why, okay? I loved her. She was my crush. And technically, I guess you could say my friend enemy. But even though she hated me. I'm going to talk about our friend-enemy relationship here in a few minutes of two cartoon character relationships that I will compare here in a minute of us, okay? Just give me a minute. I guess she hated me though, but one time a kid literally got her in trouble for no reason. This was at the time when I kind of liked her. But this also kind of pissed me off because, dude, you're gonna sit here and instigate. And considering some of the teachers don't even know what the hell was going on, you can't sit there and get mad at somebody, okay? But anyway, I tried to show her I cared, or showed her I cared about her feelings. She wasn't having that, and turned me away, and then cried herself in agony. Because that probably pissed her off, and I'm sure she has some things going on at home, maybe, I don't know. Well, that was just, I guess you could say, the tip of the iceberg. But now we gotta do a prequel type of thing, because now I probably should have rewind and tell y'all how this all started. We'll get more into this later, possibly, but this is just the boring part, so it's best I rewind and tell y'all, you know. Now, I need to, or probably must, show y'all how our little friend-enemy relationship started. Our friend-enemy relationship kind of started when my friend Gabe, he'll be important here in a minute, or, well, maybe he's literally gonna be important for the story later, trust me. Gabe tried to teach me how to change my lock screen. He changed something I liked. I think it was Ghostwriter or something. I think it was Ghostwriter, maybe Dragon Ball. No, it wasn't Dragon Ball because I started watching Dragon Ball when I was like 12 or 13, so no. And again, as I mentioned earlier in the story, this was when I was 10 or 11, bro. So no, I didn't even know what the hell Dragon Ball was. I just heard about it, but I haven't watched it. Anyway, Gabe taught me how to change my thingy, being the snitch Gemma. Try to snitch on me, get me in trouble. Again, as I mentioned earlier, because of what, Gemma's lock screen was. This is frowned upon by teachers for some stupid ass reason. That you can't do that. You can't change your lock screen. Okay. Since this was kind of forbidden, I guess, but I was a kid, did not give a damn. Did not give two little tiny baby cow shits. After a little disagreement, we became, I wouldn't say enemies, not friends, but frenemies. Wait, that's basically what a friend and enemy is combined, wait. Damn, I'm dumb. Okay. You know what the hell I mean. Frenemies. As the days grew, I felt more love struck for her, man. Within like a month, her personality, her smart-ass personality towards me, it didn't really piss me. It sometimes pissed me off, but I don't know why, but I don't know what the hell just straight up changed me into liking her for some reason. Again, as I mentioned, my emotions were deceiving me for some reason, so I thought she was beautiful. We're not going to go into much of that more detail, because we'll explain that later. Our frenemy relationship, as you could call it, friend, enemy, whatever the hell y'all want to call it, it was either like SpongeBob or Squidward with the mix of Hey Arnold and Helga. And I hate to tell y'all this, but y'all are brainwashed kids if you do not know those cartoons. That's like not knowing what SpongeBob SquarePants or Ren and Stimpy are, or even Waco's Modern Life, or Rugrats, cartoons like that. I'm gonna explain to y'all how I know what cartoons these are. My parents, my aunts, my uncles, most of my family are either 40-year-old people, 20-year-old people that were born in the 80s, 70s, or 90s era, meaning they are boomers. They were born with the most beautiful technology ever. You don't know how bad I would JFK somebody, I would snipe somebody out of a black motorcade just to get an NES. I promise you I would. Okay, I probably should just shut the hell up. I might get a freaking strike again, you know? We don't really necessarily need that. Yeah, so shout out to my family. Oh yeah. And my sister, you know, for showing me FNAF when I was 4. I'll explain that story for another time, you know? I'll explain that in another story time with Dark Prince episode, because, you know, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love how my sister, who, I don't remember how old she was. I think she was at most 16, maybe 15, maybe 14. One of those age ranges, okay? I don't know how old she was. Because of my sister, I have a FNAF poster on the back of my door, and it's all because of my sister. It's all because of me walking in on her. Okay, pause. That sentence sounded sus. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that. Well, technically it wasn't walking in on her because, you know, she wasn't in her room playing it. She was more in the living room getting the shit scared out of her by a purple fuzzy whip-off of Bugs Bunny, you know? Yeah, so besides that, I'll explain that in another story time with Dark Prince. Let me tell y'all, I'll explain that in another one, but that's for another story for another time, you know? Okay, I'm just rambling on about the same thing. Anyway, that was our relationship towards one another. We were either like SpongeBob and Squidward on one day, or Hey Arnold and Helga. We would just shit-talk each other till one of us left the room, you know? Except she disliked me a lot, to be honest with y'all. I was a dumbass. And a geek. And by a geek, I mean I was a Star Wars fan. I was very fascinated in Legend of Zelda, dude. I grinded on that game. That's why I call myself a geek. Only Legend of Zelda nerds would know how beautiful Legend of Zelda's atmosphere is. Of course, when it's not an 8-bit. Again, I was a dumbass. I had SpongeBob's mindset when it came to love. So if a woman did not like me, my dumbass could not take a hint that they were not, I wouldn't say not interested, but just thought I was a nerd and did not like me, okay? And for Gemma, My ass at that time, I was 11 or 10, okay, dude? I want to say at most I was 10. So my ass couldn't take a hint that she did not like me. And I wouldn't say she hated me. She didn't hate me. She didn't wish death upon me. But it was like she had social anxiety. She just didn't want to be, like, within 10 feet of me. She didn't want to even be within 2 feet of me, dude. I didn't take much of a hint she didn't like me. She didn't hate me again. She just didn't like me. She didn't really want to be near me. And to be honest with y'all, she kind of felt like... this is an exaggeration coming from me at the time, with me being a 10-year-old in this universe. To me, she was my world. You know, she was my... Okay, well, let me shut the hell up, because now I'm just trying to think of a backup script for some of these lines, Bo, I swear. Gabe hated her. Gabe, y'all know Gabe. I mentioned him a few minutes ago. He was the kid that helped me change my lock screen on my iPad and almost got both of us in trouble. Well, Gabe hated her with a passion of the Christ, because of how she treated me. And an incident that happened where her and her sisters jumped me. It was like Lady Demetrius from Resident Evil 8 Village and her daughters jumping Ethan Winters, bro. I was Ethan Winters, and Gemma and her sisters were like Lady Demetrius and her daughters, even though there were only 2 of her sisters, and Demetrius had 3 fucking daughters, dude. You get my point. Her and 2 of her sisters jumped me on the playground. Wow, in the middle of the open. The teacher's asses ain't even paying attention. Actually, I'm gonna do y'all better and explain to y'all that whole story in 2 other episodes. That way y'all get 3 different episodes. And you know what? Maybe one day I'll edit all the episodes together so y'all get a full marathon. I bet y'all would like that. Click the like button. And maybe I'll do that if we get enough episodes out, so that way y'all get a good marathon, Anyway, they tried to attack me, didn't really do much. They just literally were, I don't know, I guess they just thought it would be funny. Let me explain to y'all something why I lost feeling for Gemma after this. I hated her sisters, and I just didn't really like Gemma after that, because that wasn't nice of her to do that. They chased me for a good 30 minutes, but that's also another story for another time, just like the FNAF one about my sister introducing me to FNAF. Anyway, don't know where the hell Gabe was. I was screaming for him to come help me because they were trying to kick my ass, all 3 of them. Gabe said he was somewhere on the jungle gym, but that was a damn lie, because I ran around that same area 3 times because I knew that was his favorite place to go to start beef with other students. And Bro was not there. So for all I know, Bro was probably watching from a high spot, watching me play damn Mortal Kombat or COD Zombies with these 3 girls, Bro. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is why this series is called Storytime with Dark Prince. Because I have the most wildest stories. Anyway, after that incident, Gabe hated her, and I started to lose feeling for her because of it. I also want to mention that when the teacher stopped all 4 of us, her oldest sister said that I put my hand up her skirt and that's why they chased me. When that was the most shittiest lie she came up with, and for some reason the teachers believed it and scolded me for it. They didn't really call my mom up there. They didn't call cops. None of that. They just scolded me and threatened to have me in detention. I wonder if they partially believed it, but also partially didn't believe it, and that's why they only scolded me rather than taking this more seriously. Who knows, you know? Anyway, after losing feeling for her, after some time of that, losing all love for her, and grade 1 was over, I had gotten, like 2 years later, I had gotten taken out of that school system around the pandemic, maybe around 3rd grade, maybe. It was around 3rd grade, pandemic blew in. Then my mom put me in virtual school for 3 different reasons. 1, because of the pandemic. 2, because the teachers weren't really any help, and it's the reason I have the learning level when it comes to math. When it comes to math and reading and that type of stuff, I have the level for that type of stuff of a 3rd grader, okay? My mom would probably prefer me to keep this stuff hidden, probably because she didn't want me to get bullied. But you know, because of all the bullying I've dealt with from school, I'm learning to go out of my shell, not worry about that stuff. So if anybody wants to sit here and call me a little pussy in the comments, go right ahead, but I don't care. I started going into virtual school around 4th grade, and it's now 7th grade, almost 8th grade, so I would have been in here for almost 4 years now. And just like that, after that, it was really the end of our relationship. Man. This is the first episode of Storytime with Dark Prince. I feel like this should be animated. I should hire some sort of animator, maybe an editor as well. Y'all should tell me in the comments if there's any good animator / editor I can hire. I wouldn't really necessarily say hire, but maybe if y'all know anybody I can maybe become friends with and maybe have them help me edit and animate my videos. Maybe teach me so I can do it on my own. Because my editing and shit sucks balls. Anyway, I guess the video's over now because that was the full story from start to finish. Well, comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're notified when new videos come out. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye. Hey there, hope you enjoyed this video. Not much else to talk about. Parts 2 and 3 will be on the other 2 stories I told y'all about the FNAF one and whatever the other one is. I'm gonna have to go back and rewind and see what the other one was, because I kind of forgot what the other one was. I'll do the FNAF one first and then the other one after. So if y'all are interested in those, hit the like and subscribe buttons and notification bell so you're notified when those other 2 episodes come out. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say besides that. Yeah, so I guess I'll see y'all when the other 2 come out. And there's not really much else. I might do some of the other stop motion projects I told y'all about in my post. They just been getting delayed lately because of some stuff, but I will gladly do those, like the Assassin's Creed one, get back into the Walking Dead series we had going on. But yeah, there's not really much else, not any other updates. Yeah, not really any other updates. I do need to get a green screen though, because I can't keep making my own sets and atmospheres both. That's really too hard. So I might buy some special equipment to help me make my stop motions better, because I don't have any beginner stop motion technology. I literally just have to hold my phone while taking the stop motions, and it's the most hardest thing ever. And I'm gonna explain why it's a bit harder for me, besides the fact that I have to hold my phone and arm in a straight position for like an hour. I will be explaining to y'all some interesting news I got while I went to the doctor's one day that basically forced me to do physical therapy. I will explain that in a fourth part, actually. This one y'all are probably gonna enjoy because y'all are gonna love to hear how I have a curved spine. I mean, I guess technically it's not curved anymore because I did the physical therapy. So technically I did have a curved spine, but now I don't anymore. So I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.